Hello, my friends. It's Leanne from Crafty Kitty Vintage. Thank you, everybody, for joining me on my edition of the Give a Scrap Hop, hosted by Angela, the Traveling Crafter. All throughout April 2024, there were different people each day posting videos, as well as many more out there who have been tagged. And I was tagged by Julie from Day Trip Vintage Co. And I want to thank her. She's a very sweet friend and very thoughtful and beautiful crafter in the community. So I wanted to give her a shout out. I am going to be tagging for this hop Dawne at the Crafty Visage. If you don't know Dawne, please do go to her channel, check her out. She's very creative as well, and I'd love it if you would go and support her and subscribe, and hopefully she'll be able to do her own edition of the Give a Scrap, her own contribution to the Give a Scrap Hop. Thanks again, Angela, for hosting that awesome hop. And if you want to see a complete playlist, please do go to Angela's channel, The Traveling Crafter, and you can see that playlist. I will try to remember to link it below in this video. Okay, first of all, the theme, Give a Scrap, was, as I understood her explanation, was about giving a scrap about other people in the crafting community, people in the world, as well as giving a crap about how we treat the planet, in that we will reduce, reuse, recycle items. And a lot of us in the crafting world, junk journaling, already do that. We already use a lot of materials that are otherwise thrown away. So there's been a lot of ideas out there, and I've enjoyed all of them. This is one that I saw, I don't remember who it was that I saw it on their channel, and it's been a while, but this is one project that I wanted to present that I've been working on independently already before the Give a Scrap came about, because I'm working on an Alice in Wonderland journal. And so I wanted to come up with some tea related, the tea party related project. And I'd already been working with tea bags in other ways, in doing altered playing cards. This one isn't complete, but it does have the tea bag glued onto it. It gives it a nice textured effect, as well as giving it sort of that tea stained kind of grungy look. So I was already using tea bags for this project. You prep your tea bag a little differently, and I'll show you that. I'll try to be as quick and efficient as I can. So what you would do if you wanted to keep it like this, you would take out either the staple or just the string. Some of these aren't stapled in, they're just sewn through. You'd take it apart that way, you'd open it up, you'd find the seam, and you'd open it by the seam. And here's the hidden seam that's on the inside of the tea bag when you open it up. So if you wanted to use it like this, for this kind of application, you would do that. For this, instead, you want to cut the bottom. And so I'll show you that. That way the string stays on the top, and you can make this cute little tag. It could be a gift tag. You can use it as a tag in a pocket in a journal. You could use it as a bookmark. There's a lot of cute little ways of using it, and I like this project because it's pretty quick and easy, and it combines my love of decoupaging napkins onto things. I have an affinity for napkins that I find thrifting. I always either find them thrifting or pick them up at a party if there's an extra napkin. I have been known to, like at a wedding, you have a napkin given to you, either a cocktail napkin or whatever, and I just squirrel it away in my bag. It's kind of a sickness, I know. These are some really cute little chickens on here. I really like the botanical napkins probably the most for this project, especially with a smaller graphic, because then, it's a smaller project, so that makes sense. And then, of course, there's this pretty holly. This is, I've never seen this before I found this. It's like a little paper, like almost like a doily, but I think it's meant to also be a napkin, but it just happens to be shaped. So I think it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. I have a little, let's use this one. I have a little thing to catch my tea. So you'll see there's different kinds of tea. We know that in the world. Some are fruity, some are minty, some are like traditional black tea. This is a traditional black tea one. It's just a cheaper one, and you can definitely use this type. I prefer the type that doesn't have the metal staples personally, and these are a little bit narrower than for example, this is a Bigelow. All the other ones I have here are Bigelow tea. Just a tiny bit wider, and then, but most importantly, I like this tag better than this one. It's just a little more substantial, and I like the shape. So, because I want it to still look like a tea bag, right? So, just that's a little something about that. And then the color, the variety of tea will come into play in your project to some extent. Depends on what you put over it, but just kind of keep all that in mind. So I'm just going to slip my scissors right through there and just cut as evenly as I can through there. Now I save a lot of tea bags. I hang them up on my little clothesline that I have in my bathroom. Just kind of nice little out of the way place to do it, and then when I'm ready to use it, I just grab them and go to town. And then the spent tea that you remove from the bag can go into your garden. Okay, so that is that. And you can see here, I've just kind of already glued this shut at the bottom. I like to do that. So I'm going to do that with this one. Actually, I'll do it with this one. I've already kind of folded it in on itself so that it'll give me a nice clean edge. I'm going to glue that. I'm just going to use my art glitter glue. So I have a growing channel, as I like to call it. I think I have at this moment in time almost 650 subscribers, and I'm grateful to everyone who honored me with clicking that subscription bell. I do a lot in the vintage community on YouTube, vintage live sales, and I'm starting to get more into some more crafting videos and content. And it just kind of crosses over for me. So, but I hope to get to 1,000 one of these days, just because it's a big round number milestone. I think I'll do this one also. And I think doing hops like this are a fun way to not only meet other crafters that I would not have been exposed to before, which I have done watching. I try to watch every single Give a Scrap video out there, but also it helps bring attention to your channel, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. You want to, just as you're spreading the love to others, you want some love to come to you as well. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. Hopefully remember that it's there so I don't knock it over and make a mess, but it's just dry tea. You can vacuum it. So this one, you can see the difference in color. This one is actually a mint tea, and this one was like rose hips, things like that in it. And then again, there's the black tea, the difference there. Okay, what I like to use, I love using Mod Podge. Mod Podge. I used to call it Mod Podge. Anyway, and I use the matte finish most often. But you don't have to do that. You can use glue stick if you want. You can use whatever adhesive you like. I'm just accustomed to using Mod Podge with napkins, and that's what I prefer personally to use. So I have a little bit here. Oh, before I paint that on, let me protect my surface a little bit here. And I'm just going to take this down a little bit. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Oh, I did want to mention when I was watching all the giveascrap videos, one that really stood out to me, and you may already know this person, and maybe you've already seen her giveascrap video, but it was Carrie at the Paper Monkey, Carrie. And what I liked about it was that she did a completely junk journal. I forget, there's another term for that too, where you're just using packaging and things that you'd throw out. I loved that. I also loved that she put up little facts about recycling and waste. That really, I think it's important. You know, you might have heard it all before, but it's really important to keep getting that message out that that we can maybe do a little bit better and maybe think twice about what we're throwing away or what we're purchasing in the first place, and then where we can potentially find something that maybe is already existing out in the world rather than buying something newly manufactured. So I love that. She happened to have her, I think she chose her date, which was Earth Day. So I thought that was really cute. I think it's April 22nd. I thought that was really neat that she did that. And so I just wanted to shout out Carrie at the Paper Monkey for doing that. It really inspired me. So, and also that being said, I occasionally will go to the Goodwill bins, which is an outlet with all the stuff that they don't want to bother putting in the regular Goodwill stores. Maybe they don't have enough staff or they just have enough at the store already. But that's a good place to pick up things like paper napkins that are discarded. Oftentimes they will come in their original packaging, all sealed up, like brand new, like somebody who might have had a bunch of party supplies and then ended up not needing them and donating them. So that's where I get, I think 95% of the napkins that I use for my crafting. So yeah, I don't think I mentioned that before. So keep that in mind when you're out and about. Of course, thrift stores, things like that. But at Goodwill bins, they weigh things and charge by the pound. So, and napkins are fairly light, so it doesn't cost much at all. So most of these napkins are 3-ply. So keep that in mind. Also, when you're taking them apart, I can see here that I just have the top. So I'm going to cut a little bit off for myself. So I am going to do that one. And then I am also going to do one that is, do I want to use this? Is that big enough? No, let's try this. Do one like this, and maybe I'll put the bee over it because I think you're going to see some of the botanical print coming through there. Let's just see what this looks like. We'll just go for it. On this one, I did a botanical pattern. Oh, I didn't show. On the back, I used a antique book page from an antique book that was falling apart, and I just gessoed it just to knock down that the brightness of the page. It also adds a nice texture. You can write a little sentiment on there. You can journal on it if you're putting it in a junk journal. So there's that. Okay, let's do this. So I love me some Mod Podge. Now it takes a little longer to dry than if you were to just use glue stick. But I like, it kind of gives the piece kind of a leathery feel. And of course you can top your piece with it and kind of just seal it in. Let's do this. Oh, got a hair in there. What a surprise. Cat hair probably. Okay, I don't think you're going to see it anyway. So let's see, do we want the chicken down here? Let's just do that. So you can leave it like that, or you could paint over the top of it. I think for our purposes here, I'm just going to leave it the way it is so it just doesn't get too wet right now. And on the back, I'm going to put my book page. You might have another idea of what to use for the back. Use what you have. Okay, I could have made that a little longer, but that's okay. I can see that the little edge might need a little bit of tacking down. The edge meaning the space in between the two layers there. And let's put it on there. Now you can wait, or you can cut. Like I am not going to wait, I'm going to cut. And just want to make sure that I don't cut that string off. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you do, but we left it attached so that we don't have to put it back on. And just kind of press that down. So if you were not using an image, a little bit of the napkin came up. I have that habit of messing with something a little too much. And you can see a little, my napkin came up, but that's okay. It's giving it a kind of a rustic feel. I'm gonna set this aside before I mess with it too much and mess it up. What was I gonna say about that? I don't know what I was gonna say. Anywho, lost my train of thought. Let's do another one. Something about Mod Podge. I just love, maybe it's the smell, maybe it's the feel. If you get it on your fingers, it kind of rolls off like glue. I just love it. I love it. So let's do this right there. Yeah, I think I'd say if you were going to paint over the top and give it and kind of seal it in, wait until it's dry on the bottom. Wait until this part's dry. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this now. A little easier to see if not both sides, if both sides aren't covered. So of course I'd appreciate a like and a follow or a subscribe if you are so inclined. I think it's great to spread the love, you know, spread the love. It doesn't hurt to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, on the back, I'm going to put some more book page. I love small projects like this. I love the instant gratification that comes with, you know, being able to finish something quickly. Likewise, I'm working on the bigger projects that maybe take a little bit more patience. I can always work on more patience in my life. You can see how simple this project is. You can put your own spin on it. Wee woo, wee woo. I don't know if you can hear the siren or if my noise canceling is working. All right. And you can see here on my examples that I do like to cover the tag as well. On this one, I left vanilla chai kind of showing through because I like that. And on this one, I put a paper, coffee dyed paper doily piece on, and then a little decal that matched my little Alice Tea Party thing. So you can decorate with that. Of course, put on any kind of trim you want. I might put some kind of image here, or I might leave it plain. And then on this side, I did a little rub-on transfer. And I thought that worked pretty well. Right, let's see here. What are we gonna do? Do I want to put the bee over it? I think I might. I think I might do that. Let's see if I can get away with going over this while it's still a little damp. It's also, I think the Mod Podge adds a little bit more rigidity or stability to this project, where a glue stick might not do that quite as much. But again, I think it would work just fine. I just like Mod Podge a lot. Okay. And I use parchment paper for my under paper here, down here. I think wax paper or plastic might be a better option because it wouldn't stick as much. If you just did what I just did, which is push it down upside down. It's on how fussy you want to be about it. You have your ways. I would probably, given more time, just let that dry before I try to trim off that. So I like the texture there, and you can see through a little bit to see the napkin down below underneath. So I would let that dry. Meanwhile, I'm going to maybe use a little something here. You could just leave that. You know what? I'm going to leave that because of the yellow. I'm going to leave it as is. I might just go go through and ink the edges just to give it a little bit more, you know, I gave this attention and did something with it kind of a look. But I'm gonna leave that. Let's fit the chicken. What do we want to do here? I think I'll definitely cover the brand name there. What do I want to use? Do I want to use some of the? Let's do the little check pattern from this. Let's do that. Where are we? Right here. I can use the check and the. Yeah, let's do that. You might still see some of it through, but it might not be as in your face. Guess these are now my glue scissors, right? I can already tell that I didn't put enough Mod Podge down on this. I need to be a little bit more generous with it, but that's okay, we can fix it. You can also use a little art glitter glue on the edges. Or just do this. Just try not to get too carried away because I don't want it to be too wet. I want it to dry fast so I can finish it for you. And I think I'm going to keep this video to about 30 minutes, so we're almost there. Right, yeah, you can see I mean, if you're looking for it, you can see the words through it, but otherwise you cannot. I like that. I like that just as is. Again, here you could do some mark making, you could do some rub-on transfers, you can do whatever you want there. Decorate it up as much or as little as you want to. So that is my contribution to the Give a Scrap Hop. Thank you again, Angela. Thank you again, my friend Julie, for tagging me. And I am tagging again, I'm saying Dawne, at Dawne at the Crafty Visage. I tag you. I look forward to seeing what you might come up with. I want to thank everybody for watching and appreciating everybody's different styles and techniques and projects. And I look forward to seeing you all out in the YouTube world. Thank you so much. And take care of yourselves, each other, your loved ones, and the planet. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.